Get ready because the biggest sporting event on the entire planet is coming to North America in 2026. And let me tell you, this FIFA World Cup is going to be unlike anything we have ever seen before. So let's dive in and break down what makes this tournament so historic.
And just look at this. This is the official FIFA World Cup match schedule. This single grid gives you a real sense of the sheer scale we're talking about here. This isn't just a tournament, folks. It's a full-on continental festival of football.
So just how big are we talking? Well, for the very first time, the tournament is expanding. A record of 48 teams will be competing for that ultimate prize. That's a huge jump from the 32-team format that we've all been used to for decades. And of course, more teams means way more World Cup matches. A staggering 104 games will be played in total. Yeah, you heard that right, 104. This is easily going to be the longest and most action-packed World Cup in history.
And get this, for the first time ever, the tournament is going to be hosted across 3 nations. Canada, Mexico, and USA are all joining forces to put on this monumental event. It's a true celebration of North American soccer.
So, with all the teams confirmed, every eye in the footballing world turned to the all-important draw. That's the moment where destinies are shaped and the first big rivalries of the tournament are officially born.
In a huge ceremony in Washington, D.C., watched by literally millions, all 48 nations were sorted out into 12 groups of 4. This is where the path to glory really gets laid out, and those World Cup fixtures finally start to feel real.
And wow, this draw created some absolutely fascinating matchups. You can see the host nations, right? Mexico in Group A and the USA over in Group D. But look at Group I with giants like France and Senegal, and Group L pairing England with Croatia. We are guaranteed some heavyweight clashes right from the get-go.
Okay, let's zoom in on one of the hosts for a second. Team USA was drawn as the head of Group D, which gives them a pretty clear set of initial opponents right on their home turf.
So who are they going to face? Well, they've drawn Paraguay and Australia, 2 very tough competitors, and their final opponent is still to be decided. It's going to be the winner of a European playoff between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, or Kosovo. Talk about adding another layer of suspense.
Of course, the second that draw is complete, every single fan asks the same question. With this new expanded format, did we still get a so-called group of death? That one group that is just absolutely stacked with powerhouse teams, making it incredibly tough to advance.
And the answer is, oh yeah, a definitive yes. Right now, experts are pointing to 2 main contenders for that title. You've got Group I with powerhouse France, the African champions Senegal, and a really talented Norway squad. And then Group L looks just as brutal, with England facing off against a recent finalist in Croatia and a formidable Ghana. Both of these groups are primed for some massive drama.
But the World Cup is always about more than just the giants. It's about these incredible stories. Just take Haiti. They've qualified for the first time in 52 years, bringing this huge wave of hope to a nation that's facing immense challenges. This quote from a resident in Port-au-Prince, it just perfectly captures what this moment means. It really is more than just a game.
Okay, so we know the teams and we know the groups. Now let's map out the tournament. Where and when are all these epic World Cup games actually going to happen?
So here's a look at the full 2026 schedule. The action kicks off on June 11th with the super-packed group stage that runs all the way to the 27th. Then it's straight into the brand new round of 32 knockout stage, building all the way up to the semis on July 14th and 15th, and it all culminates in the grand final on July 19th.
This map just perfectly illustrates the continental scale of this whole Canada-Mexico-USA project. You've got 16 host cities spread across 3 regions, from Vancouver and Toronto up in Canada, down to Guadalajara and Mexico City, and then all across the United States, including places like Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta and Gillette Stadium in Boston. It is a true coast-to-coast-to-coast event. So, you better mark your calendars. The very first match is going to be held at the legendary Estadio Azteca in Mexico City on June 11th. And then the whole journey wraps up over a month later on July 19th when a new world champion will be crowned in the stadium in New York/New Jersey. But hosting an event of this size, it goes so far beyond the pitch. The social and economic impact is projected to be absolutely massive.
Let's just start with the big number. The tournament is expected to contribute a staggering $40.9 billion to the global gross domestic product, or GDP. That's just an enormous economic stimulus for the whole world.
But where's all that money even come from?
Well, of the nearly $14 billion in total tournament spending, look at the biggest slice of the pie. Over half of it comes directly from tourist spending. That's millions of fans traveling, booking hotels, and visiting local businesses, just pouring money into the host economies.
And all of that spending, well, it creates a ton of jobs. The tournament is projected to support over 800,000 full-time equivalent jobs around the globe. And as you can see, while the host nations benefit hugely, the economic ripple effect is really felt all around the world.
And just to put it all in perspective, a mind-blowing 6.5 million people are expected to attend these World Cup games in person. Let that sink in. 6.5 million fans, all converging on North America for this month-long celebration of football. It's just incredible.
Okay, so we've covered the teams, the schedule, and the incredible impact. Now, let's talk about the most important part, how you can actually be a part of it. So after all of that, I have to ask, are you ready to be there, to actually witness the drama and the history of the biggest FIFA World Cup games ever held?
This is your chance to be a part of history. For all the official information on how to get your FIFA World Cup tickets for 2026 and to make sure you do not miss out, just click the link right there in the description below.